Hi, and welcome back to Live and Breathe Horses. So today we're going on with our bit of a theme thing about theory over practice. And today we're going to talk about blocking. I keep coming up with more angles and more things on this. And this is one of my favourite topics in other ways. And it just occurred to me today, excuse me, that it's, of course, it's the same for this. So when we are, we've got too much theory. And as I've said before, this is a problem with adults learning. You know, as kids, we just do and we feel, and it's all very natural and spontaneous. But as adults, and through good intentions to do our very best, we do a lot of studying and learning and not enough practicing, which of course does depend on the circumstances. I am aware of that. But the thing I wanted to talk about today, that Umo suggested, was about how much that actually blocks us. You know, when something's going on with a horse and we have to think too much what to do, how to respond. You know, by the time we get there and respond, we're just way too late. You know, like my teacher always used to say, it's our job, our whole life as a rider. I think he got this from Nuno Oliveira, actually. As a rider and horseman, woman, it's our lifelong work to aim to respond as fast as the horse, because the horse is always going to be quicker than us, you know. And like Tom Dorrance says, get there before it happens. That is the goal. So the more knowledge and information we have, alongside less practice, it just blocks us totally, that we're just thinking, overthinking too much about it all. And the other side of that, of course, is the thing I usually go on about that's not directly related to horses, but as we know, our horsemanship is our life journey, and we can learn everything we need to help us along in life from our practice with our horses. So the other thing was about being blocked, you know, that we are joy, we are love, we are natural and spontaneous and able to connect and be everything we want to be. You know, I always say to new riders, if I could take you back to being 3 years old and stick you on that pony or horse, you wouldn't need any instruction. You would just do it. So sometimes, rather than learning more, which is a bit of a thing and a temptation, especially in this world of internet and too much information, it's not about that. It's about what is blocking us from being our true natural selves and being joyful and spontaneous. That is our birthright that we were born with. You know, what's blocking? So when life brings stuff up, that's the blocks. And instead of, because we don't want to look at that, it's not very comfortable, it's not very nice. So instead of avoiding things, we use life and horses and horsemanship as our therapy. And when it comes up and we really don't like it, and we're really like, then take a look, what's going on? And then who's asking what's going on, you know? Because so much we judge and we're like, oh, so hard on ourselves, but that's not even our real selves. Is it, Umo? Now the sun's coming out and the light's going to go all funny. So anyway, getting unblocked is a good thing. And we can do that. There's many ways to do that. From my Osho school training, I love full-on emotional release, you know, and you don't have to know what it is about intellectually. It's not about talking about it, you know. I'm going to turn around a bit so the sun's not straight in my face. It's more about just releasing it, letting those emotions out that have got held in. You know, I think as women, for me, a lot of it comes from all the times we said, yes, okay, that's fine, and be sweet and be nice. And we really wanted to, should have, could have said, no, that's not okay with me. So all those are held inside, and we don't have to bring it all up intellectually, but those emotions, you can maybe see in the background my punch bag hanging up. That's my emotional release. Umo's just getting a little scratch here. He's enjoying that. Where's his favourite place today? Under his chin by the look of it. Anyway, take a look at the blocks, and really this thing of too much information, and it does prevent us spontaneously doing the right thing. I'm not saying don't go out and learn. I'm just saying keep the practical practice up, and be very aware of it, you know. The other interesting thing with that is that I learned not that long ago, that our brain doesn't even know when we're really doing something or we're just thinking about it. So that makes me question, how much can we practice, like going through it in a visualization rather than actually with a horse, because not all of us have the luxury of living in a field full of horses like I do, and all the years and years and years of riding all day long. So how about that as a practice? You know, if the mind doesn't know the difference, if we can really feel it and do, you know, really visualize. And when we say visualize, it gives the idea it's only about the eyes, and it's not. It's about going through all the senses and living, really living the whole experience as if we're there. And that can be a help to practice, you know, when we can't physically actually be there and practice. But yeah, then we need to look for those opportunities. So anyway, that's our tuppence worth today from me and the Umi Boomy baby, who's a bit muddy today, aren't you, Umo? Yes, yes, it's been a bit wet. We've had a good rollover, but it's nice mud here. It's not like where we lived before, where it was clay and it just stuck all over them, although it was very nice and healing for their skin. This mud brushes off very nice and easily, and you'll be as clean and lovely. And of course it helps that they're molting, doesn't it? Molting is lovely because then you brush and a lot of the mud comes off with the hair. Anyway, thank you for joining us in our muddy field today, and we really appreciate it, you know? We really do appreciate it, don't we, Umo, that people come and want to listen to us? Yes. So thank you, and we will look forward to see you next time.